Hello there. Welcome to Save with Crypto. I'm just going to check the audio before I go any further. Right. That's good. Okay, brilliant. Scotty saying, hola amigos, hola, buenos dias, or buenos tardes, not quite. But yes, hello, Scotty. Right, I think I'm here on my own today. So there'll probably be less sort of nonsense talk today, which is a shame, but it's always nice to have Maff here. But I think Maff's going to try and do kind of 3 days a week. So probably like Monday, a little one on Tuesday, and then he'll either do Thursday or Friday, depending on um, depending on what he can do best. I think that's coming about because he's normally got some sort of work type meeting that he does on Wednesdays. So he can't always do it. But anyway, that's the plan, really. CD Cherry Tree, hello, mate. Hello. Excellent. Anyway, glad to have you all here. This is really good. Just a quick look at the Bitcoin price. Yeah, so we were talking yesterday about the price going up, and that seems to be what is happening, which is great, which is really good. Let me just put on Quadzilla. I think everyone here knows what Quadzilla is, but I was looking back thinking, like, a few days ago, no, it was a couple of weeks ago now, I was looking at the daily time frame, and I was looking for these super up indicators, wasn't I? And the green backgrounds. Actually, I think I started off on a 12-hour time frame. I remember back here, we were getting all these like green sort of backgrounds, and I was saying that's probably getting near a bottom, and I was getting a bit sick of myself saying it, actually, because I kept saying it's definitely near a bottom, and then it kept going down a little bit further. So then I started looking on the daily time frame, and we saw here that we're getting these green backgrounds here. Now these two here, those ones did deceive me a little bit, because from there it did actually drop down quite a bit further. I suppose at that point in time, I mean, that is the daily time frame, and at that point in time, we should have, been thinking, well, okay, we got the bearish cross of these EMAs. That's the yellow 21 and the green 55. We got those quite a bit earlier, so we were quite strongly in a downtrend, really. So that makes me think if we should maybe take a little bit more notice of like the 9 EMA as well, because that was still heading down pretty rapidly, even when we were getting those green backgrounds there. And then by the time we got this last one, it's kind of starting to flatten out a little bit. But odd enough, the 5 EMA, that was actually sort of going positive by then. Now the 5 EMA isn't enabled by default, so if you need to do that in Quadzilla, you just go over to Style, and then you enable it there. Okay, I like to have it on because I always did, even when we were using these EMAs from the other indicator. What was it called? Called the CT MAC thing, the caretaker one. I used to like having all 4 there. I still do, actually, even though the red one pretty much just follows the price. So yeah, we were looking at that on the daily time frame, and then, of course, when it gets like that and the momentum convergence band was right down here, then I started looking at even bigger time frames, and I was looking at the 2-day time frame. So that was here, and what we did get was this super up arrow here, and I don't think that had ever happened before, as far as I remember. Let's have a little look. There's quite a few green backgrounds, I must admit. No, so that green background had never happened before, ever. So that was pretty good, wasn't it? So when did that happen? That happened on Sunday, the 23rd of November, when the price was that was about there, about 84.5. Okay, Now, obviously, since then, we did have that kind of wick down, didn't we? Which was on the 1st of December, which was kind of like, ooh, blimey, was that all right? But then we went straight back up. So I think that was an amazing call, actually. I've noticed as well on the 3-day time frame, we did get a green background there, which is, of course, brilliant. And then I've even gone to the 4-day time frame. I can do that by just going 4D. So the 4-day time frame does indeed have that green background, which stopped appearing last night at midnight. Okay, so that now means the momentum band is, above that 20% level, and we do actually have this green area here. Now, this isn't a green background. This is a mid-range cross. Okay, so that means there is a likelihood that the price will go up. Let me just reset that a bit. Okay. So yeah, let's have a look at the mid-range cross. So if we go to the settings on Quadzilla and we look at the inputs and we look at the, where is it now? It's here somewhere. Convergence bands, red, green background. Oh, mid-range cross. There you go. Right. So you get the mid-range cross when the stochastic line crosses above or below the white average line. Okay. So you can see that in the convergence band, the red kind of border there, that is the fastest moving stochastic that's made out of. Then the white one is the average of the stochastics. So lost it again now. So yeah, so the stochastic line crosses above or below the white, blah, 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 and the cross occurred while they're between the two mid-range values. Okay. So it says this signals that the price will either continue in or reverse to the direction indicated by the color. So at the moment we have a green. So it's saying that the signal means the price will likely continue upwards. If the momentum reverses in the mid-range, i.e. before fully overbought or oversold, it could be an impulse move. So watch for further price movement in the initial direction. Okay, well, so far it's just straightforwardly what is happening here is this edge of the convergence band here is crossing over that white one there as the price is moving up, which is why we've got the green mid-range cross there. So that's pretty cool. So I think we have a little bit more upside. Let's go back to a normaler time frame like the 1 hour. And of course, what I like to look at as well is obviously the bullish crossing of the yellow and green EMAs. That's the 21 and the 55 EMA. So we got that there on the 1 hour. And then if we look on higher time frames, so for example, like the 2 hour, 2 hour cross bullish as well. How about the 3 hour cross bullish as well? This is all looking pretty good. And the 4 hour cross bullish as well. Now, you remember like a week or so ago, I was looking at when we got this cross here of the green and yellow on the 5 hour time frame. Looks like that was around about the 28th of November. Actually, that was just last week, wasn't it? Seemed like it was longer ago. Maybe it was, no, it was over here where I was looking, wasn't it? And here they just didn't want to cross properly. And in fact, they crossed back bearish again and down they came. Okay, so in fact, we did actually get on the 5 hour, we did actually get a kind of bullish crossover here on Friday morning, but then it went bearish again on Monday. And now we've gone bullish. Sorry, that's the 4 hour, isn't it? So I've got the 5 hour again. 5 hour. So the 5 hour, yeah. So what we were looking at before was this is when it failed, wasn't it? Or was it? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So I was looking all kind of hopeful here when the yellow went above the green there on the 5 hour. But unfortunately, what happened there on Thursday, the 30th of October, was it really that long ago? Maybe it wasn't. Getting confused now. Anyway, what we want to see is a fairly sort of like strong cross of these yellow and greens here on the 5 hour to sort of give me a lot more confidence that we might go back up there, up towards the sort of levels that Maff has been talking about, like 108, that kind of thing. There is also, of course, this like bearish retracement here at like 104. So yeah, we'll have to watch out for that if we get there. Cool. Okay, let me just have a look at a few comments, see who's here. So Kaz is here. Hello there. How you doing? CD. Oh, Mr. Delta's here. Brilliant. Mr. Delta. Okay, I was actually Mr. Delta was actually a personal friend of mine, so we were actually having a chat this morning about different time frames. So I want to look at a few things that he looks at as well, which I think is the 6 and the 10 minute. I think he was talking about. Yeah. WJM. Hello there. How you doing? Brilliant. Okay. Looks like we've got the usual crew here. Anyway, that actually brings me on to the title of what this thing was called. What's it called? Oh, I have an idea. Yeah, because I was thinking like, even with the amazing Black Friday deal, we didn't really sell as many licenses for Quadzilla as I hoped we would. I was very pleased with the ones we did, and obviously it's nice to have a few people on the annual the annual thing as well, because I don't know. I think the problem is with a monthly subscription is you try something for a month and you kind of think, well, I didn't make my money back, in that first month. I mean, some people do. Some people have made it back in like 3 days, but for people who might maybe like don't quite, they haven't kind of been looking at the evolvement. No, what's the word? Yeah, the kind of way that Quadzilla has evolved over the past. Don't know what it is now. Probably past sort of 9 months, probably. For people who haven't been here with us, they might look at it. It might look confusing because there are quite a few parts to it, and they might think, "Oh, that's a bit too complicated," and then they just unsubscribe after the month. Whereas people in it for a year, I think, okay, you've made a kind of commitment then, and you think, okay, well, I'm going to stick with this and see what it can do for me. And then after the year, you can, well, hopefully you'll have made lots and lots of money, so you'll have no problem about having it as part of your permanent arsenal. So yes, that's good. Anyway, but the point is that we didn't sell quite as many as I thought, and I was thinking what we really need is like we need to be providing, well, not providing, but we need to be showing kind of live examples of like what we can do with Quadzilla. So I thought, well, okay, well, the best way to do that is to do kind of some like live trades on the actual show, and I've kind of tried doing that before, off and on, and it's always a bit scary when I'm on my own, I must admit, because I'm thinking like, am I making a really stupid mistake here, and is it going to be really embarrassing? And it's amazing now, even in front of like kind of like half a dozen people, something can appear to be like really embarrassing, and I have no idea what that must feel like when you got people like Sam Price, for example, Crypto Lifer, doing it in front of like 1,000 people, and sometimes with him the trade goes the wrong way and hits his stop loss, and he loses the trade, and like, but he's actually really good at sort of saying, well, I just thank God that that He gave me the opportunity to lose that money, because that's learnt me something. I'm not sure if I could do that. Actually, I just feel like an idiot. So anyway, so I was thinking it might be quite nice, with having like math around on days when he's around. We could actually look at something and actually say, okay, let's look for this happening here, and if that's right, then let's go for it and do a live trade. Now the problem is against that is the fact that I know some YouTube channels have been getting I've been getting problems. Well, I say problems. They've been getting community guideline strikes because of providing dangerous information. And I think that is quite often involved where they've been talking about trades like in detail. I mean, I guess Sam Price is completely immune to it because he has so many subscribers and probably makes a lot of money for YouTube. I mean, I believe it's all done with AI now. So obviously you've got some sort of AI thing probing around YouTube, looking at what content you're making and trying to decide if it's dangerous or not. I think at the moment, like, crypto itself isn't a dangerous thing to talk about, but maybe showing trades is, right? So I think actually before I go any further, I am just going to show you the disclaimer. Please note that this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial advice. Any information or opinions provided are not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. A full legal disclaimer is in the description of each video and live stream. Okay. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd make a second channel. Well, I'm going to call it, well, it's a work in progress, obviously, but I'm going to call it SWC Trading, and I'm calling it that because it might involve at some point, it might involve like Forex, TradFi, commodities, that kind of stuff, so not necessarily always crypto, but the idea would be I'll do like live trades on that. And if we run into any problems, I'm not gonna lose my main channel. I think that's probably the safer way to go. I don't know if anyone's actually interested in subscribing to this channel already, but I can pop it in the comments and see if anybody wants to be the first subscriber. That'd be good. So let's pop it in there. I haven't got any videos there at all yet, but that'd be great if somebody did subscribe. So I also thought as well we could use this for what we were talking about yesterday, which was the idea of doing like tutorials on how to use Quadzilla, and also I think I want to do some tutorials on how to use various platforms. I think my strength is probably talking about platforms. I think math strength is probably talking about Quadzilla. Excuse me. Oh, is Kaz my first subscriber? That'd be great. It'd be great if she was. Have I got one? Oh, I've got 6 subscribers. Brilliant. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. That's brilliant. Oh, that's lovely. Not sure if I can tell who they are. Oh, thank you so much. That's really good. Okay, right. That's going to spur me on to sort of to get on with making some content for that. And I did think, what we can do with this is, obviously try things out that I don't want to put on the main channel. So stuff like live trading, I might do them kind of crypto face style things where, if I'm looking for a certain condition, I'll just like leave the chart up there, maybe leave some music in the background, and I'll just put something on the screen saying I'm looking for this condition to be met. If it does, I'll probably go long, or short or whatever, and give some ideas for it, and so I'm just looking at the comments. Actually, I can do this thing. I can do this thing where I can put the comments on the actual screen. But anyway, I bet it was CD who was the first subscriber. I bet he was. I bet he was. But anyway, Kaz, brilliant. Scotty as well. Oh, fantastic. Isn't this wonderful how you can just sort of get it done? Mr. Delta, I'd be annoyed if you weren't. You've subscribed and I've not been abused. Yeah, I was always told, actually, when I used to do web design stuff, if you've got a form, you should use on the actual what it says on the actual button when you send the form. You should have like send or apply or get your free thing or tell us. You should never use submit unless you've got some sort of BDSM type site. so yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Anyway, well, thank you, everyone. That's wicked. Okay, well, that's that achieved. That's great. Mr. Delta, tell me what you've been trading, because I do want to have a look at the strange time frames that you use. Well, they're not strange. I mean, to be honest, what I've found and what I like doing, and this will depend on, like, whatever kind of what do you call it, whatever kind of asset you're looking at. So normally I've got my screen split up into 3. And I've got this one on the 1 minute, this one on the 3 minute, and this one on the 12 minute. That's what I've normally got. This is unless this is like when you've got like normal kind of choppy conditions, like I suppose we have at the moment. So, for example, with this, you could be just looking out for these little retracement levels here, which generally the price will come back to. Better ones, obviously the ones that are the better ones are always the ones that look like they're not going to get filled, and then they do. Like this one here, for example. We had that on like this morning at 4 o'clock. I was obviously well asleep by then. But if I'd have been awake, you'd have seen the price go up sort of like 1.26%. And you think, oh, it's not going to come back there, and then it does, doesn't it? So I think those are really good ones. Like, for the same reason, this bearish one here, we might go up there. And then if you're looking at it on the other time frames, and I think I've got the problem here is I'm actually on a different chart, aren't I? Hang on. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway, but this one here, for example, it looks like this might be quite a level, quite an attractive level that it might come down to 91.6. Then you think, okay, is that the same here on the 12 minute? You think, well, that's got a 91.5. So where you've got like kind of quite a few around the same kind of level, I'd be thinking, okay, this is probably likely to come down here, and then at some point go up to there. So I would say, we've got a range there. It's not a big range, but we might trade up and down in that range. That's what I tend to do. And then obviously looking at things on a more of a swing trading idea, I'd be looking at it on the 1 hour, and I'd be looking at for these kind of levels here. So for example, it's not unrealistic that we could come back down to 86.9. It would be a bit depressing if we did, but we probably will, because you can see in the past that things like this one here, you think, oh, we're not going to come back to there, but we did. I mean, that was over was that a couple of weeks, wasn't it? So there to there is 8 days that was. Yeah. So it took 8 days to play out, but nevertheless that sort of thing does happen, and we know the statistics. So at the moment I can see all these up here, and I'm thinking like, well, these probably will get retraced at some point, which would fit in with the story of us going back up here. Whoops. Going back up here for a bit, So complete all those. And by the way, if anyone doesn't know, the line stopped drawing after a certain amount of candles. You can change that, but what it does, that it's a problem with the actual limitations of the way. It's a limitation of the language that you make indicators with on TradingView. It uses a thing called Pine script, and it has like so many things it can display at the same time that are plotted by the actual indicator. But if you want to make those bigger, you can go to, where is it now? You can say draw step 2 and draw step 3 until whatever number of bars. I think the maximum is 1,000. I'm not sure. You can draw that. I think that's it. Not sure. Not sure what happens if you go over. But anyway, but if you do that, it makes them like a lot longer. But it does mean at some point they will stop drawing. Okay, so you might be missing some if that's the case, But yeah, you can see here. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at the price probably going back up, but maybe coming down to these kind of things first, and overall, that's what I'd be looking at on the 1 hour. I know Maff likes looking at the daily as well, which gets a bit scary really, because you've got these ones down here at like 62 and 50 something. We'll probably get down there at some point, but hopefully not in the next few weeks. I am expecting. I mean, I'm just guessing really, but I mean, to me, doesn't that just look like it's gone woo like that, and then it's going to go something like that? Well, probably not vertical like that, but something like that for a while until maybe. Oh, when would that be? I don't know. Maybe till like this time next year, and then we come down. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then kind of disprove all the 4-year people wrong. Which, by the way, I don't really have an opinion about at the moment. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the. Let's go and have a look at the comments. Okay. Right. Asta. Yeah, I noticed you and your Asta. We'll have a look at that. Scotty's long on H bar, short in Sui. Oh, that's quite a. Blimey, you're busy. Okay. Oh, there's Maff. Hello. Afternoon. Sorry, can't be there today. I dropped a couple of TA vids into the Discord though. Oh, cool. Okay. Should we have a look at them? Be quite good, wouldn't it? Let me just go over to the thingy. Oh yeah, he did. Okay. Right. Okay. So he's got. Is it Wednesday today? Isn't it? Right. So let's have a look at the first one. Hang on. I'll get them both at the same time. And then, right. So there's 2 there. So let's try and get them in the right order. Right. So here's the first one. This is a video from Maff from this morning. I've not watched this either, so I'd be interested to see what he says.
With Bitcoin on the daily chart, we do seem to have quite a lot of horizontal lines on here. Maybe a few too many. No, not too many. Just can't have enough horizontal lines. Need more. In fact, just for a second, I'll hide those away. They're all relevant, I assure you, but we'll come back to those. I just wanted to draw attention to this wavy line, which is the weekly 100 MA. So back here on the 21st of November, we dipped down below the weekly 100 MA and bounced back pretty sharpishly. And now, just the other day, we kind of came down again and we bounced off the line. We didn't drop below it. So that was a very positive sign. You can even see in I mean, not just because of that, but you can see in the Twitter, or the X sphere, I guess, just how much more positive things seems to have gotten. Okay, that in itself is kind of just incongruous, because to all intents and purposes this could simply be the same relief rally that we've been talking about for a while, where the price finds its way back up to 107ish and then drops back down and carries on into the crypto winter. But of course, any sort of positive price momentum like this, and you're going to see the online world just lighting up again. Just, I keep saying it, but we are so back, just lighting up, and then from that everybody expecting the price to head on up and claim new all-time highs. And you can also see it in the news-driven events, and so much of it is hopium. It's all this pump was caused by this, that, or the other, by Vanguard announcing their bullish things, by quantitative easing soon starting, quantitative tightening having just finished, and so on. That's all stuff about the future. So even news-driven pumps tend to be a bit short-lived. It's a quick reaction in the market, and then things just kind of carry on as normal. I mean, obviously the actual level can change. So if there's overall optimism, then the same price action could be happening up here rather than down there. So I guess there's that. But so far, nothing's really changed in a sense, in that we're expecting this to happen and then that to happen. But we'll see. I do hope that this happens and then that happens to the upside, and that the 4-year cycle is dead, and now we're in an institutional-driven 2-year cycle. All of those things. Because it'd be kind of nice. I don't want to wait all that much time for another, for the bear market to just drop down to whatever insanely pessimistic lows it's going to end up hitting, and then eventually head up. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, major ramble there, which I didn't really intend to do. So, yeah, in conclusion, so that's good. So if I put the drawings back on here now, we can also see this trend line, which call it a trend line. It just marked out the fact that we had that low and then the higher low. So far, the price hasn't really come down to test that again. We might actually see a drop to this sort of, maybe it'd be there. 10th of December, that's my prediction. On next Wednesday, that we'll see the price drop to 87, let's say, around 87, and then bounce up again if it manages it, if the news events stay positive and so on. That's another thing, of course. I think what I was trying to get at just now was that this could equally just be a standard reaction to the fact that this utter sort of drawdown in the price was really just a liquidity sweep, and it was just stopping out all the long positions. And that's done. Institutions can now buy cheaper Bitcoin, which we're kind of seeing, that they seem to be doing that in their droves. But essentially, the order book was thin and it's been wiped out, and now we can head back upwards. It's just kind of standard TA chart stuff, really. Anyway, so yeah, that could happen. What we also have here was the VRVP that I drew in some time ago, and that gives us this value area low, almost exactly 100. 100.1, which is uncanny, isn't it, how that sort of thing happens? It's basically hit a psychological round number. Of course, we need to break above that. A few obstacles first. There's going to be this liquidity area here that we'll need to break through to get above that, so around 95-ish K. So we might see a bit of a reaction there. The price is breaking above this, what was a support area back here, and kind of ties in a bit with that retracement level as well. Pretty sure I drew in oh, that's right, yeah, I drew in this line yesterday, didn't I? Because it kind of does tie in with that, so that gives us a little bit of a range of 93.9 to 93.2. Call it 93. Between 93 and 93.5, say, or thereabouts. So we could see a little bit of ranging for a short time. Now that we've actually reached that level, we might do this for a little while, and then hopefully up, unless it comes back down and does that again. And this also is the sort of the price contraction, isn't it? So we may not be quite out of that yet. It may need to drop down into here again to gather some more fuel before it just explodes to the upside. Assuming it does that. I just, Monsieur, you assume too much. So this level, I think, the 0.382 at 108.8, and it ties in very much with this, was a bearish retracement level, which went virtually straight into its step 3, so expecting the price to come down and drop below. It kind of did, and then but came back up again sharpishly. That happened again, and sure enough, down again. 2 retracement levels at the same price level. That tends to be very significant. It's marking out just that there's something there, a price magnet, that's bringing the price back down or back up. Okay, that's the daily. Let's have a quick look as we're here. Let's have a quick look on the weekly chart. Just get totally bamboozled by the number of lines again. Now, honestly, that retracement level there was pure chef's kiss territory. Sounding a little bit sordid, maybe it's the way I said it. So yeah, that was at 85.1. So the price came down, well, from back here, was detected there in May. Price came down, blocked below it, began this trend, but very much just came back up, touched that level again and back up, came down, dropped just below that level and back up. So that kind of gives us a decent support level as well, one to keep in mind. And of course there was this support area here, could be seen that really as a bullish order block. Really, the price kind of dipped down. There must be open buy orders here around about this all important kind of 74, 75, 76 level area. Not really level, I mean it's a range. So dipped down into that again, consumed a bunch of buy orders and didn't even need to drop that far this time. That's kind of quite bullish. I was going to say hyper bullish, but that's overstating it a bit, I think. But however, that does actually give us another low and higher low just there, so on the daily and on the weekly, which is overall pretty good. So I think I've rambled on for quite a long time now, so that's about it.
Okay, cool. Right, that's excellent. Maff did that. Let me just remove that, and then he did a second one as well about the 4-hour time frame. So let's have a look at that, and then we'll look at the comments, because there's a question that CD's asking that I want to talk about as well. So this is the one about the 4-hour time frame.
Just drop down to the 4-hour, and there are two retracement levels worth a look. This level sets it's 86.3. They have kind of lined up pretty well. They're not that far off the 0.786. Obviously we're at the moment way up there, but just keep in mind that this could act as a bit of a price magnet, just this area of confluence really of opposing forces and so on. Oh, nice bullish retracement level there, which we bounced off just above. What might happen here is that if the price does kind of rebound down to this, keep in mind that that's the trend line that we talked about before, the mice that the price might come down and hit. If that happens, it would complete this the step 3 of this retracement level. So the price would do, if it does happen, it might be something like boink boinks off there, down, hit that, and back up. Just simplifying it, just because I can't really predict the future. There, I said it. What that would do is it would complete that retracement level. So it's already had its very quick down, then the up, then the down to there. And it would also, of course, complete that one. So on here, the step 2 would have completed there, and then the step 3 would have completed there. So a bit more to keep in mind.
Okay. Right, that all makes sense. So don't be frightened if we do get a bit more down, basically, because we did pump a lot in the last 24 hours. So don't be too scared about that. Let me just remove these things and then share my screen again. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's go to 4-hour. Just see what he was talking about. I've got to get into the habit of labeling these things when I draw these lines in myself, because I'm never quite sure why I drew them. I suspect they were probably, why did I draw them anyway? Let's not worry about that, because they're quite a long way down. Let's just expand this out a little bit. Right, so what I was going to just talk about briefly is, hang on, right. Because CD was asking Scotty what time frames he uses, because Scotty was saying this thing about here. I'm long on H bar, shorting SUI, and injective, and long on ICP. Cool. You see, what I'm thinking is we've got a lot of people who like Quadzilla and use it a lot. In fact, Scotty says Quadzilla has been nailing it, mate. That's why I've got so many trades open. I mean, that's just brilliant to hear. The thing is, everyone uses it slightly different, and everyone's got their own kind of take on it. And I think what might be quite good on the SWC Trades channel, no, it's not called that, SWC Trading channel, is if we if anyone's up for it, like you, Scotty, for example, if you want to, come on the stream and talk about how you take trades and stuff, I think that might be really, really useful for everybody else. And also it might be quite useful for, getting new people involved as well. They might see, somebody, maybe someone who's experienced or somebody who's not experienced, sort of using the indicator and actually saying, this is how I use it. And, I think that'd be really good. I think it'd be quite beneficial. So if anyone's interested in doing that kind of thing, then, let us know in the Discord, and then we can do that. I mean, it's quite easy. I mean, you just I just send you a link, and then it's quite good with StreamYard because you get a link, and you can basically choose just to share like one tab on Chrome. So if you're worried about accidentally getting doxed or anything, because I always worry about things like messages popping up and stuff with like personal messages from friends or whatever. But that doesn't happen with StreamYard. You can actually just choose to just share one tab, which is why I keep messing up sometime. When I start talking about something on a different tab, and then I forgot to change the tab. So it's kind of good that way. But it doesn't show your entire screen, so it's not like you have to have a kind of a computer that's completely anonymous if you want to talk about stuff on stream. So there is that as well. I'm thinking about putting the camera on as well. I just think it might be better for engagement, so I might do that. I'm just a bit bothered about how old I am, because I'm not in my 30s. Not, well, I won't say how old I am. Anyway, I'm definitely not in my 30s anyway. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I'm about the same age as maff actually. Anyway, so what else we got? So the idea of having guests on SWC trading might be quite good, actually, I reckon. So and I suppose as well, because on live streams as well, I mean, I won't be able to monetize that initially anyway, but to make sure things get monetized, you need to not mention certain words. So sometimes that's quite difficult for someone who's new, but with a channel that's not monetized anyway, it doesn't really matter. So there you go, really. Cool. Anyway, so right, so we got an answer from Scotty. So Scotty says, I like to trade when RSI is overbought on 1, 2, and 4 hour time frame with Quadzilla green or red background confirmation. Check volume also and divergences. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. I know the RSI is something that maff's been looking into a little bit as well, and I also think that part of the improvements you might make to the super up and super down indicator might involve using data from the RSI as well. So you never know, even that strategy of Scotty's might kind of get incorporated into the actual into Quadzilla itself, actually. Yeah, I think it's worth talking to people like yourself, Scotty, who are doing this kind of thing, because I think we'll get some ideas from like people who are using it and trading it and coming up with ideas. But yeah, so RSI is overbought or oversold or bought on the 1, 2, and 4 hour time frame with Quadzilla greener. Okay, I'm not going to have a look at that now because I won't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I will look into that, and then maybe we can talk about that tomorrow, maybe something like that. But I've seen a few other people who use the RSI as well, so that's good. Okay, right, you all seem happy with that. Scotty loves the retracement bars with Quadzilla. I know, it's just mad, isn't it? It's really good. My cool. Okay, right. Hello from the other side. Hello, bom dia to you in Portugal. Age ain't nothing but a number, babe. Well, you say that, but But I had an eye test the other day, and they actually said, oh, there's very, very early signs of a cataract. And I'm like, oh God, you know. So yeah, I don't know. All happens with age, doesn't it? Scotty, yeah, I've got a big mouth. Wouldn't want to get you in trouble. Okay, no, he wouldn't. It'd be fine. Kaz saying, do it. Don't give a F about it. And it is refreshing to not see all smooth skin peeps on YouTube. Well, okay, right. But what if I've got lovely smooth skin? Actually, I haven't, but I did once. But yeah, no, I might do that. I was gonna. I keep wanting to sort of say, you know, I'm not going to do it until I get 10,000 subscribers, but I don't know. That'll probably take me forever. My actual subscribers are actually rubbish. Actually, I'll tell you, it's. Let me just change to my other one. So I've got that on the wrong thing. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on, nearly with you. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I keep looking at things like this, you know, where it says current subscribers 8,184, -2 in the last 28 days. And I don't know why this is happening. My actual subscribers are just getting worse and worse. And you know, for anyone thinking of retiring on YouTube revenue, by the way, you know, in the last 28 days, estimated revenue £8.51, and you know that's what you get from YouTube, which is why we kind of, you know, push. Well, obviously Quadzilla and the exchange links as well, which are all in the description below as well. So do check them out. Because yeah, the actual, you know, the amount of money you get from YouTube is minute in this kind of niche. You know, if you're doing something like you're doing, I don't know, you're doing vlogs of restaurants in London or something, then you probably might get, you know, for every video you'll probably get like 1,000 views, and so that will mount up, you know. But most of my videos, you know, the amount of views I get is like 20 or 30, you know, if you're lucky. So yeah, it's quite depressing really. And but yeah, if you look at the, what was it, audience, so I know this is probably not interesting at all, but if I look at that lifetime, right, oh come on. So I believe yeah, look at this. So this was back in 2021. I had about, you know, like, well, back here 2021 I had about 200 subscribers, and then I started talking about the MyRDex, you know, and I got half the population of Romania watching my channel, which was brilliant, you know, sort of lots and lots of views then. Sorry, this is views, not subscribers, you know. And then it's just been downhill ever since, really, unfortunately. If we look at the actual subscribers, you know, I got loads back then when I started talking about the MyRDex, and then after that, not a lot. And the only thing I can think is I'm losing subscribers because I'm not really into EGLD anymore, and I think Benjamin Minku gets on my nerves, and I've probably upset most of the Romanian audience who are into like Auron. So I think that's why my audience is dying anyway. But I'm hoping, I don't know, if we start doing the live trading thing, I think that might help actually. Anyway, right, that's probably not what you wanted to hear about at all, was it? So let's go back to the charts. I wanted to have a look at Asta because that's what Mr. Delta's trading. Let's look at that one, for example. So you're saying you're looking at it on, I think you said the 6 minute. 6 minute. That's 6 month. Hang on, 6 minute. I'll just go. There you go. Oh yeah. So this does stick to these retracement levels rather nicely, doesn't it? Okay. So I'd love to know what you are at the moment. Have you got a long, or are you looking for a short? I mean, it's probably worth looking for a short, isn't it? At that kind of level, possibly that. And I think you said the 10-minute as well, didn't you? Yeah, it's cool, though, isn't it? Because, like, you know, as the price is coming down there, you get that bearish retracement there. So you know at some point, even when it's going down there, it's going to go back up there. And it did. And I'm seeing this kind of thing anymore. It's not quite a proper cup and handle, but when you see the price come down and you get a bearish retracement like that, I mean, it's not a very good one, but you know, it does seem to do this kind of like cup and handle type thing. You know, where it goes back to the retracement line, dips down a little bit because it's bearish, and then it goes back up again. So if we look back, oops. So if we look back here, well, you can see here that did the cup and handle bit there. It didn't really go up much though. This one's a good one. So cup, a bit of a handle, then it went up. Cup. I think there's a little handle in there. I don't know, but anyway, very good. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, the problem I've got with Asta is it moves so much. You know, you don't really know exactly what it's going to do. Well, of course you don't know exactly what it's going to do, but these moves are, you know, so from there to there is like 45%. And I've seen Mr. Delta's some of his trades, and I think he's doing quite high leverage, like 8x or something. So 8x with a 45% move is quite scary. But yeah, it seems to be working for you, know. So that's really cool. Let's just have a quick look. So right, so Mr. Delta saying camera. Yeah, but you know what I look like. So are you effing haven't? What you about? Oh, about my smooth skin. Yeah. Okay. Right. So you want the camera on? All right. Okay. Well, I'll think about it. Okay. Right. CD saying guess, great idea. Yeah, I think so. Because I love it when math's on. I love just having a chat, and the time goes so quick. It's like, you know, I can't believe like we have a little chat and all of a sudden 2 hours are gone. Scotty, 8,000 subscribers is decent, bro. Don't forget you're in an oversaturated market with crypto. Yeah, that's why you kind of need a different angle on it, don't you? You need like I don't know. I think Crypto Lifer does well because he does actually show like live trades during the show. You know, I think that's probably why he's got like 100,000 subscribers now, because he does that. And he really doesn't give a toss, you know, kind of if it doesn't go his way, you know, he'll just like, oh, I lost that one, no big deal, because I made more earlier on. So yeah, I can see how that would help. Mr. Delta, I have ideas. Save guest is a great one. Okay, you can be a guest. You've actually been a guest already, actually. Ooh, sexy. Astra on the watch list. Okay, cool. What's the date to get tokens out of the Zoid Pay shopping pool? We should be able to do that in January. No, it won't be the start of January. It will be sometime in January. So at that point, you should be able to do it then. And yeah, and I've heard some hints that I might know more about it in the next sort of 2 weeks or so. So hopefully I should get some more information about what's going on there quite soon. I believe it is all going to plan now, which is quite rare for them lot. And, you know, everything is pretty much on schedule for actually having the app out in January. The only problem is they did say that to me for May 2023, and obviously that never happened. So anyway, we'll see. Scotty, ICP retracement lines have been printing my cash too. Thank Quadzilla Killer. Awesome, so good. We'll have a look at ICP in a moment. Mr. Delta saying, thanks, Scotty. I need a new token to trade. Save was talking the Solana as well. Yeah, I've actually been, in fact, my biggest trade at the moment is actually a Solana long. Just have a quick look. So I won't show you because it's on a different computer. But how am I doing? That's weird. Oh no, it's all right. Oh, that's all right. Yeah. So I've actually got a trade there where I'm trading with 5.9 Solana. I've taken 1 Solana already, and I'm 1.03 Solana in profit. So that's doing pretty good overall. I've been messing around with the trade, but essentially I'm long from 139.6. Maybe we could have a look at that. So Asta, yeah, Asta behaves well with Quadzilla. I mean, to be honest, everything does really. Solana. Let's look at a different one. So what I normally do, that one I'll do, Coinbase. I mean, I've just been enjoying this because just because these retracements have just been brilliant. You know, when we were down here on like Monday, on the 1 hour time frame, we had these kind of like green backgrounds here. You know, it wasn't the best because it came down a little bit further, but then we started to get this trend shield appearing, and as you know, what that means that everything's looking like the price should go back up, but so I've got a few alarms going off. Everything's looking like the price should go back up, but hang on a minute because it's still going down. And then when these trend shields stop appearing, which was about here, the price went back up, and it went up quite beautifully as well. Also, Solana was one of those that on the daily time frame, we did get green backgrounds here and here. I think we even got one on the 3-day. Yeah, we did. Yeah, got this one on the 3-day time frame on the 24th of November. Now it did come down quite a bit after that, quite a lot actually. But overall, you know, up since then. So Solana's been pretty good. Let's look at ICP. Let's look at the 1 hour. I mean, everything's a bit in the middle at the moment, isn't it? But I know with a lot of assets where you get these kind of like, you know, retracements like this, what seems to happen is they will all eventually get completed. So so ICP might well come down to here, like to 2.9. And if it goes up there to sort of 4.9, then it could reject from there. But yeah, nice moves, I must admit. So when was that? That was okay. I suppose on the smaller time frames, like 5 minute. Oh yeah, lots of scalping opportunities there, aren't there? All these retracements getting completed really beautifully. This was a good one. When was that from? That was from the... Oh, it's just yesterday, wasn't it? Okay. So from yesterday, went up 7%. And don't know, could probably do it again, couldn't it? that'd be fun. I mean, if you can find something where it's just doing that kind of ranging, where it's just going up and down like by like 5% or whatever, you can even do it not on leverage, because like you can, if you just keep making 5% over and over again, then you're going to have loads of money quite quickly. I might do a bit of that. That might be quite a good. That might be quite a good thing to do. With SWC trades, actually, to see if I can make money by not even using leverage. We're using more of a volatile asset, something like ICP. That might be quite a good fun thing to do, really. Right, just got a note that my Instagram is disconnected. Well, I'm not going to bother with that because I'm probably going to finish in a moment anyway. Right, it's going to remove the... Oh. Sorry, sorting out the streaming. Right, okay, so what else we got? Okay. Not enough momentum on Solana currently, but I reckon it'll fly at some point. I mean, it's got to, hasn't it? It's got to get back up to that 200 mark, and you keep forgetting that. Well, I keep forgetting that. The all-time high was at 400 or so, wasn't it? So it'll probably go back there at some point. It's not like there's anything wrong with it. Oh, movement rather than momentum. CD upgrade to TV premium. Is there a tooltip somewhere for getting Quadzilla watch list alerts? A tooltip. I can show you how you do it. So if you've got a watch list, hang on. Right. So this one is mine. That's just called watch list. I've got a few other ones. I've got like exchange tokens, for example, here. Okay. And let's say that I was looking for something like super ups on the 3-day time frame, for example. Okay. So what I do there is I just go to alerts. I would add an alert. And here, where it says ICP USDT, I'd actually change that to the watch list. Okay. So it would actually be exchange tokens. And then I change that to Quadzilla. And then let's say I'm looking for the super ups. So you got a choice of super down, super up. So you could do that. If you want to save on your on the amount of well, if you want to look for a lot of things, you can also go for the hyper alert as well, which will signify if something important happens, and then you just have to work out what it is. But say you're just looking for super up indicators in super up signals, interval 3 days like that. With something like a 3-day thing, I wouldn't wait until the bar closes, because obviously if something happens, you're going to be waiting for 3 days. And that's it, really. And then I would, give it a title of like 3-day super up. I normally like to give it a silly noise. Like quite a bullfrog, actually. Yeah, maybe the rooster. Anyway, so give it a thing like that, and then that's your alert set up, you know. And then I'd leave that going for a bit, and then see if you get like too many. If you get too many alerts, I got one straight away. You see, well, okay, I'm getting loads. I haven't any idea what this is, but you can see this is showing that. Okay, right, there's a lot of those. Maybe because my watch list is quite enormous. Cetus, I have no idea what that is. Okay, so say for example with this, you can see that you're getting like a lot of alerts, and that one there, it must have just momentarily flashed and then disappeared again. So at which point you could actually say, okay, well, you know, that's a bit over the top. Let's go for, you know, let's edit that. And you could say you only want to see that every 3 days. I don't know really. It's probably better to edit your watch list so there's actually tokens that you actually want to see. You know, rather than just all this kind of rubbish that I've obviously got. So that's yeah. Oh, there you go. It's appeared now. Solid Cetus. So, you know, would I take this trade? Not without knowing what the thing is. I don't know what it is. But you can see at this point, you can actually think, oh, okay, well, it's got a super up now, and certainly since it was first on this chart, which is 2023, that's never happened before. So, you know, it might be the sort of thing where it's worth the risk, you know. And then what I'd probably do from there is I think, okay, it's got a super up on the 3-day. Now I know that worked really well for Bitcoin, for example, but you know, let's look into it in a little bit more detail. So you think, okay, on the daily, you know, the momentum convergence band is starting to turn up a little bit, so that's good news. You look in a bit more detail, and yeah, you could probably make some money with this. Actually, I'm actually tempted to try just for the sake of making a video or something, you know. And let's say you were going to go long there, and you were just going to go up to there. How many percent is that? That's like 200%. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Obviously, you can come drill right down and, you know, try and get a better entry. I like, say, the 5-minute time frame. And you can see here it's actually gone up quite a bit already. In fact, I bet that's an enormous amount. Yeah, it's about 17% so far. So yeah, you don't want to be trading this on any kind of like mad leverage or anything like that. But yeah, anyway, that's how you set up a watch list alert. I have got a video about it as well. I think if you look at any of the not the live streams, but any of the videos I've done recently, I think at the end of each one, I think I've got a video there. Actually, I can have a look, can't I? Let me just have a look at the actual channel. If we look at the videos, look at that one. Please note that this content, right, and look at the end. It is, no, I haven't got it, have I? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. I can probably find it. It was called what was it called? Like watch list alert or something like that. I've got a feeling I gave it a better title than that. Right, it's not that one because I found a better way to do it than that. Okay, I can't find it at the moment, but I will try and find it. But yeah, that's annoying. Watch list. What did I call it? See, this one here was where I made a little bookmarklet, but I realized you don't have to do that anymore. Okay, maybe what I can do is do a new up-to-date version of it, and then I can post that as one of the videos for the new channel, and that can be there, and I'll post about it in the Discord. That's probably the way to go, isn't it? That chart looks horrible. Oh, what the Cetus one? Yeah, I know. Well, the problem is you got a lot of those altcoins that have sort of dead, and then they might have had a little bit where someone's just bought a bit, and therefore it's showing a bit of a bit of upwards momentum. But you'd have to look at the actual token and work out if it is dead or not. But yeah, you never know. Risk reward maybe, but that's yeah, I know. All right, Sadie. All right, I hope it helped anyway. Right, I'm gonna call it a day here, I think, because I need to get on with a few things. Thanks for everyone for coming along. I think Maff will be back tomorrow. I think he'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Friday. But he'll be certainly back soonish. CD saying, anyone tried setting watch list alerts like that from your phone? Can't seem to find it as SWC just did on the computer. Just thinking I could do that. I'll have to do that in the video. I'm sure it's possible because I think Mr. Delta does it. I think he's a bit more phone based than me. But anyway, yeah, I can do that. All right, everyone. Sorry, I haven't done any shilling of the products and all that, but I think you've got it. I think everyone here has Quadzilla anyway, so that's that really. All right. Anyway, can you do us a favour there? Well, thanks by the way for everyone for subscribing to the new channel. I'm motivated to put some content on there now, so I'll do that. So thank you very much for coming along. I might actually flick over and watch Dave on the Stonksy channel now. So yeah, let's do that. Tell him I sent you. All right, I won't comment myself on his stream, but that's what I might do. All right, take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a video today later on, probably something about what we might do on the new channel. All right, so take care, everyone, and see you soon. All right, and above all, tell your friends.